They say that time will heal me, but right now, I'm feeling sad. They say that he does only good, but then, why does it feel so bad? They say that I must be so special, but how I yearn to be as plain as could be. They say you're in a much better place now, but I only want you here with me. They say that they're also heartbroken, but then they get up and walk away. They say they know just how I feel, but I know there is simply no way. They say that soon things will be better, but I know my tears will never dry. They say that we cannot question, but my heart is screaming, why? They say that I must be so strong, but I will never get up from this fall. They say a lot of things, but I wish they would say nothing at all.
"11 years ago, 2001, my son Kobe and his friend Joseph Ishran, they went to hike in the canyon near our home, and they were met by Palestinian terrorists who beat them to death with rocks. Kobe was 13. He was only in 8th grade. And really, when he was murdered, I really thought, I thought our lives were over. I thought my life was over. I thought there was no way I would be able to live. And I fell to the ground and I looked at my husband and I said, "What are we going to do?" And he said, we have three other children, and we're not going to let the terrorists destroy us. So since then, our life really has been a quest to take the pain and transform it into good, and to take all the cruelty of Kobe and Joseph's murder and transform it into kindness.
I never was able to cry in full, to share my full pain with anybody, because it was too great. And obviously, you know what I mean, it's too great a burden to put on your children's shoulders. But that doesn't mean that tears can't roll down your face when you're in front of them. My 3-year-old, at the time, I was putting her to bed and I was crying. Again, I'm not sobbing to a 3-year-old, but the tears are coming, they can't help it. And she said to me, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "I miss Tati." My mind was so busy with what happened, so busy grieving, that it just was very hard to do anything else.
I myself experienced 10 losses, the last one ending in a stillbirth. I've been there in many different ways. Sometimes I wanted to talk to a friend. Sometimes I just needed my space. Sometimes I just had that one sister or that one sibling or that one friend that I wanted to reach out to. And sometimes I just needed my space. But knowing that friends and family were there for me, knowing that if I even wanted to, I had someone to reach out to, knowing that I had support, that's what kept me going.
When I lost my father very suddenly so many years ago, it was really a wrenching time for me. And I was trying so desperately to hold on to him. I had his Farim, his Sefer Tehillim, his Siddur, but on a more physical level, I had his sheepskin gloves that I used to wear. I still remember walking home with my father from shul as a young girl, and we would walk hand in hand, and just it meant so much to me to have that connection with him. And by wearing his gloves, I felt that I was connecting with him again in a physical sense. And then at some point, I misplaced the gloves, and I was heartbroken until I realized, I said, "You know, Miriam, you don't need his gloves anymore. He's part of you. Who I am is so much who my father was. I really modeled myself after him to a great extent, and he's within me. He lies within me, and I no longer needed the gloves. I was able to connect with him on an neshama level."
When Avraham Avinu was going with Yitzchak, and he heard a Bas Kol saying, that his Yitzchak was going to be the Akedah, he was going to be the carbon to Hashem. At the same time that he heard that, his wife Sarah, who was at home, heard that her son was going to be a carbon. And as we all know, Sarah heard the news and she died. Yatsa nishmasai, and she died. What was so different between Avram and Sarah that Avram, when he heard the news, was able to keep strong and continue doing what was needed to be done, and Sarah, who was equally as big in Avodas Hashem, equally in a high level. We all know she was an Ein B'Yisrael. We all know what a tzedekah she was. Why wasn't she able to survive the news? Why wasn't she able to hear that her son Yitzchak was going to be a carbon to none other than Hashem? And then, once she heard that, she expired and her neshama left. What was the difference between Avram and Sarah? Let's look into the pasuk. And if we see by Avram it says, Vayelchu shneim yachdav. Avram was walking with someone at his side. When someone goes through a loss, when someone goes through a trauma, when someone goes through a painful, difficult journey, what helps him survive? What helps him experience the journey of pain and experience this trauma and still be able to survive and pick his head up? This is the Vayelchu shneim yachdav. That's the only way you can survive a trauma. That's the only way you can survive a loss of a dream that was real.
Everything you feel right now is fine and normal. No one can tell you, feel this, do that, go there. Right now, there is no wrong or right. Right now, you need to let yourself feel whatever it is you're feeling. And don't let anyone judge you. And don't let anyone you don't want to talk to you. Now is your time to feel for yourself. Whatever you're going through right now is so, so hard. And there is no one who knows what you're going through like you do. Reach out to the people who you think can give you chizuk. If somebody's going to offer you to talk to you, who you think really might be able to strengthen you, grab it. But know yourself and know what you can take. Know that so many of your friends just don't know what to say to you right now. They care about you so much, but they really just don't know what to say. And sometimes the best thing you can do for them is tell them how you're feeling. I really don't want to talk about it right now. I really don't feel like talking right now. I really would rather right now not talk about the pain in my life. I'd rather talk about what's going on in school, and I'd rather you treat me like I'm normal. Whatever you want, you need to tell them. They are not rocket scientists. They are not psychologists. They're not teachers. They're not rabbis. They're your friends. And they care about you. And they're not going to know how to treat you or how to talk to you unless you're able somehow to tell them. And you'd be surprised at how quickly, if you tell them, they're going to know what to do because they're your friends and they really want to do what's best for you.
It's not a stira to our emunah to be in touch with our feelings of pain, of mystery, of anguish. The word bechi in Lashon HaKodesh, in the Rebbeinu Shalom's language, is related to the word navochu, ki navochu hem ba'a. It's confusion. They are confused. When we cry, there's a sense of inner existential confusion. Where am I? How could I go on? How could this be? and in this world we cry. The Maharal Miprag tells us that the most important word in our vocabulary as Yidden, emunah, faith, emunah, is of feminine gender grammatically. It ends with a kamatz he. Why is the word emunah of feminine gender? He answers, because Jewish history has proven that in times of murky darkness, when Am Yisrael felt like they couldn't go on, like there was no future, as the women in Mitzrayim, we women, our emunah was steadfast, even-keeled. Midata hishtavut, completely on an even keel. We said, no, we have to bring children into the world in Mitzrayim. Am Yisrael chai. Like the word rechem, womb, the Maharal says. If you rearrange the letters, you get the word machal. We carry the machal. We believe that there's a machal. We know that there's a machal. We know that this is not the last stop. Death is only a mechitza.
Know that it's a process. Know that this is not going to go away overnight. Know that time is the best healer. Yes, the first year is going to be the hardest. It's going to be the first Shabbos, the first Yontif, the first birthday, the first Yahrzeit. Know the triggers. Know when you pass your child's favorite store, when his class is having their bar mitzvahs and he's not there. Know the triggers. Expect them. Know tomorrow is going to be a hard day and prepare yourself for it. But know that time definitely is the best healer. One of the best analogies I heard for bereaved parents is that initially it feels like you're being crushed by a ton of bricks. You can't move, you can't breathe, you can't think straight, you can't see straight. And you're going to stay like that for a while. But slowly over time, one brick is going to be removed, and then another brick is going to be removed. And again, initially, you won't even feel the difference. You'll still feel like you can't breathe and you can't move. But again, slowly over time, those bricks are going to be removed one by one by one. And slowly, you'll be able to start breathing. You'll be able to start moving. You'll be able to start functioning until the time where there is one brick left. That brick, you're going to keep in your pocket. It will always be there. Your child will always be with you. Some days that brick is going to weigh you down, and some days you might even forget it's there.
One woman told me, she goes, I felt like I was like a butterfly in a cocoon, and slowly, the 7 days, which are the heaviest days, where people are there to take care of all of your needs, and you never even leave the home. And then there's the 30 days where there's fewer restrictions on what you do, but you're still in mourning. And then there's the year. And she goes, slowly, at the end of the year, I could fly again. You're never going to be the same. But your loved one wants you to go on. They don't want you to stay in mourning.
My dear friend Chani Jaravel tells over an incredible story. And she has a friend, a woman, unfortunately, who passed away recently. And towards the end of her illness, Chani went to visit her. And this young woman said to her, Chani, do you recognize me? And this was the end of her illness, and the truth is, Chani did not recognize her and said to her, you look a little bit different, but when you talk, I know it's you. I know that you're my dear friend. And this woman said to her, Chani, don't feel badly. I'm actually happy. When I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself either. And that's when I know that who I am is not my face. It's not my facial features or my body. Who I am is something much, much deeper. It's my neshama, it's my soul. So that was a gift. This woman understood that this was a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help her understand that it's the soul that is the essence of who we are, and the soul will last on to eternity.
The flame is compared to a person's neshama, to their soul. Why? Because if you light a flame on a candle, and then you turn the candle upside down, where does the flame go? It always goes up. The soul apparently is attracted to the flame. That's why we light the Yizkor candle and the Yahrzeit candles, and again the candle burning throughout this light. The soul never dies. The light never goes out. But we can do things to nurture, to keep it connected, and keep that light going. The greatest thing, the values that they taught you, the example that they were, you emulate them. And you pass these on to your children and grandchildren. That keeps the light going. Honoring your parents does not stop when they pass away. It continues. You bear their name. You are living your life because of the values that they taught you. So your choices are not just for you. It's impacting them as well. It's merit to them. You can give them more pleasure, more nachas, spiritual, soul-filled pleasure in the world to come because of the choices you make here.
You will never forget your husband, but that grief will settle and you will come to a place, you won't believe me, because I remember sitting not far from where I'm sitting right now, sitting Shivah, and a woman came over to me who had lost her daughter suddenly, a 10th grader, to an aneurysm. I didn't speak during Shivah to anybody, but if someone came over to me who had had a loss, that person I felt I could relate to. And this woman came over to me, didn't say anything, just came over to me, and I started crying, and I said to her, I'm different than you. You accepted it, I didn't. I can't. And she said to me, no, chas v'shalom, you will. And I didn't believe her at the time, but you will come to a place of peace and acceptance one day. I'm not just giving you a bracha, I'm telling you with knowledge that you will come to that place, and that grief will settle, and that the storming emotions that you feel today will settle one day, and you will be able to be happy and to go on.
Sometimes I think it's getting to be like vayamesh choshech. You can almost touch the darkness, like in the makat choshech. There's so much pain, so much mystery, so much tears. We recuperate from one tidal wave. The Rebbeinu Shalom allows us to come up from air, and then there is another. Our avodah is to keep on learning Torah as women in whatever modality suits us best, to make sure that there's inspiration that could nurture our emunah, so that we could wake up every day and say, today I'm going to be po'alei diyemama. I will labor to find the daylight.
Tears are healing. One of the gifts that the Rebbeinu Shalom gives us is that the hormones that are released and produced while crying in itself could heal a person.
When we go through Nisyonos, we're really bonding with our imahos, with our fellow women, because we're all in this together. None of us can emerge through a nisayon on our own. We need to consult with others, we need the courage from others, and as we go through a difficult time, we may wonder to ourselves, what is the purpose? Perhaps we're the role model for others. Perhaps we're the ones who are creating a reservoir of strength for others to delve into in order to strengthen themselves.
It's a new battle every day. Every day in this galus is a new battle to deepen and nurture our emunah. Just like Rebbeinu Shalom, every day it's a different battlefield called today. Baruch Hashem Yom Yom, I thank you, Rebbeinu Shalom, today, because I know that you're not going to leave me. And how many days do I get myself out of bed reviewing this? Get out of bed. Don't be afraid. Today is a new battlefield called today. Today was never here since Briat HaOlam, since the creation of the world. The Rebbeinu Shalom is going to give you new physical, emotional, ruchnius tools that you didn't have yesterday for the battlefield called today. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba b'tunyan briotav. The Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't play with his kriyas. That's how we have to greet the day. Yom Yom, he outfits you and I with customized tools for the battlefield called today. And that's why David HaMelech says, Baruch Hashem, Yom Yom.
We're in this beautiful world that Hashem left us in. Hashem left you here. So you have a role to play, and that role includes enjoying His beautiful world. We just had a Shabbos with 400 women for Samchenu. One of the women whose husband had had Lou Gehrig's disease for the past few years and was nifter within the last 6 months, maybe even 3 months before the Shabbos came to the Shabbos. She wrote me a note afterwards. She said, I didn't think I could ever have fun again. And on the other hand, the ladies come to the Shabbos and they think, why would I want to dance? Why would I want to make a photo book? Why would I want to laugh after I lost a spouse? So I'm telling you, you're here in this world. You were meant to be here and to laugh and to enjoy life and to go on, and you will. You have a role to play, and there's happiness and joy ahead in your future. I'm sure of it.